Right, this is the big day here. First batch of single malt Scotch style whiskey getting bottled. Bottle 1 through 4. This has been over 3 years in the making here, so it's a really satisfying day when you see that you get to start bottling this stuff that's been sitting in barrels and you're waiting and waiting and waiting for it and you're not sure how it's going to turn out, and it turns out really good. So really happy that we're finally putting this Diamond S, we call it. It's like a cattle brand. Stands for Scotch, and Stewart, which is our last name. So Diamond S single malt whiskey. Make sure it hasn't been tampered with, and that's our finished product. So the first 12 bottles of every batch I actually buy myself, and I can hold on to them for my kids and for my family members and for the people that work here. It'll be no surprise to everybody what they're getting for Christmas this year.
After he successfully bottled that good stuff, it's back to the grind for Jeff.
I remember when Mike and I first started, we'd be tinkering around and doing up recipes and come up with an amazing product at the end, and we wouldn't have made any notes through the whole process. So try and duplicate something when you didn't write down exactly how much grain you used, exactly how much water you used, what the pH was, all these kind of things. So yeah, you got to document everything when you're trying to duplicate things exactly the same from batch to batch. Now we got the right amount of malted barley. Can make some scotch. People aren't used to drinking it strongly, right?
Jeffrey!
How you doing?
Good. Good to see you. Hello, Bailey.
Hey.
Nice to see you.
Yes.
So, I know we've been chatting about this for a while, and you said if I brought you some ingredients, we could make up a,
you like your Caesars.
a custom vodka for me. So
this is Caesar ingredients
these are what I want to see.
You make a mean Caesar, so
that's
I'm
true.
cool with listening to what your input is.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this.
Now, we've done this with a couple of restaurants before.
Right. Habaneros
specifically.
Yeah.
With, and we did it with one Asian restaurant. Did a lemongrass.
So these are
your lime vodka. What do you got here?
First ingredient in a Caesar is garlic vodka, of course.
Yes.
But of course, our friends at Last Mountain, the dill pickle, that's my second favorite.
Colin Emeritus stuff. They're the creators of dill pickle vodka. Yes.
And it is amazing.
What's this?
Now, when I was in Phoenix, I found this in the liquor store, horseradish vodka.
That's something we've talked about doing for a long time.
And of course, we always have our horseradish in our Caesars when we're mixing our Caesars. So we thought, hey, if we can combine dill and horseradish together,
have your pre-made Caesar vodka.
We would have a nice complement or a nice partner to the garlic vodka.
I promised these guys I would never make a dill pickle vodka because that's how they pay their bills. So if we can lean more towards the horseradish side, I'm open to that, but I'm not stepping on my buddy's toes.
No, 100%. I agree.
So
of course.
We happen to have a jug of vodka sitting there.
Look at that.
Imagine that.
The timing's impeccable.
You knew he was coming, didn't you?
I did.
I'm the last one to know what's going on, it turns out.
Usually our spicy vodkas go in here. So the jalapeno basil and the habanero lime are all done small batch.
So how many grams are we putting in a carboy of those? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Usually we have about 21 kgs of vodka. This time we have just over 14.
Okay.
And usually it's about 24 to 25 grams of basil that'll go into one.
All right, let's get some gloves and a cutting board, and Bailey will show us how to do this.
All right.
Now the mash tun's leaking, so the reason we throw these aprons on. I got a bunch of meetings this afternoon. I don't need to be all grubby looking. What the hell's going on down here? Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. Some days you're a plumber, some days you're an electrician, some days you're a farmer. This distilling thing is never the same twice.
Wouldn't it be fantastic if Jeff could be in the back doing work like he used to be? But most days, instead of measuring cc's of whiskey, he's responding to cc's on emails.
No more leaking. My goodness, it's almost 10 o'clock. Haven't even started grinding grain yet. We're way behind on this. Always so much dust, so anything we can do to minimize dust, we try and do.
If they don't pay attention, Jeff gets out and heads to the back to make trouble some days.
Now with malted barley, you don't need to add enzymes. We've been experimenting to see if we get any bigger results by adding the enzymes. So I'm not going to add any to this one. Don't tell Grant and Mike. One thing we did right when we set this place up is we really oversized our boiler. We have a 1.3 million BTU boiler. We were planning for ahead when we had more than just 2 pieces of equipment to run. So, you know, right now we have 3 stills and a mash tun that all draw steam at the same time. And if you don't have enough steam, you can't do any work. So, got to plan ahead for expansion even before you even start. Looks like we're probably going to add another mash tun pretty quick here too. 2,000 liters of mash here that we have to heat up. We have to do a kind of a step process on it. And we have to do a boil on it to sanitize the stuff, and then we have to chill it back down to the temperature that the yeast likes, which is about 34 degrees Celsius. So steam is the most efficient source of heat to heat this large quantity of liquid up. You know, well, I'll get this to a boil probably in about an hour. So if we had a hot water heater elements in here, we'd be here for days trying to heat this stuff. The other thing that we do with steam around here a lot is we use it to sanitize our fermentation vessels. Not too many guys do that. A lot of guys use a chemical called star sand, and you spray the whole inside of the vessel with this stuff and let it sit for a period of time, and it kills anything that's in there. We have a pretty much an unlimited supply of steam, so we hook steam hoses up to the vessels and we steam the inside of them for a certain amount of time, and that does the same thing. Then we don't have any kind of chemical residue left behind, which is kind of nice. We're behind on the mashing, but we're ahead on the running the still. As long as I can get this along in the cook process, Bailey will be in about an hour. When she gets back from Red Deer, she can take over and finish it for me. Trying to hit 85 degrees Celsius, and we have to rest there for a bit and let the starch conversion happen there. For anything that's not already sugar in this malt. It should all be converted already from the malting process, but it's not 100% efficient, so we can get a little bit extra out of it. So we're about 55 degrees now. We got to still lay a little more heat to it. We'll check my temperature, see where we are. Oh wow, we got some crazy good conversion going on here. 1080. It's a little higher than it's supposed to be. Hello, Steven?
Yes,
I think he's expecting me. Let him know Jeff's here. Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how's it going?
Very good.
Nice to see you.
I've been driving around a little bit trying to find your place.
Yeah, we just moved in here a few months ago. We've been thinking about doing the move for about 3 to 4 years, and we finally pulled the trigger on this building. So,
What's your dad think about the move? Or has he kind of stepped back from decision making?
No, he's still around. He's still not involved in day-to-day anymore, but he was pretty heavily involved in the building. And
that makes sense, yeah.
And yeah, he's really happy.
How long did he run this business before you and your brother took it over?
So he started in about 1982, and he started in one bay that he rented.
Yeah.
And he eventually purchased that building and leased out some of the other bays, and then moved into each bay after that and kept growing.
It's kind of like what we're doing at the distillery.
Yeah,
right? We just
absolutely.
keep taking over more and more bays.
Then we bought a building down the street, put a paint line. Then we rented our neighbor's building, put in welding, and then we bought a machine shop in Leduc. So
it just keeps getting bigger.
So it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now we're here.
And how many employees do you guys have now?
24 now.
24?
So,
yeah. And how many square feet is this building compared to the one you were in before?
36,000 now.
This is 36,000. That's a lot
compared to about 12,000 before.
Cool.
So
well, show me around a little bit.
Yeah, come on. I'll get you some safety glasses and we can go check it out.
I'm not making dill pickle vodka. That's my buddy's product. I swore to him I would never make dill pickle vodka.
Yeah,
so as long as we lean to the horseradish side more, I'm totally cool with that.
Absolutely.
Maybe we get some other ingredients in here too and get it. But for this first batch, let's use what we have. All right, Bailey, what do we got here?
All right, so I've weighed out our corn vodka, and I've already labeled the carboy. Very important. Written down all my LAAs.
There we go.
I spelt it correctly.
We have to have a batch sheet every time we do up one of these, and we need to keep track of what we're doing.
So first order of business, you guys need some gloves.
Yes, I am.
Hopefully.
But usually I put these on to stick my fingers in somebody's mouth when I'm cleaning their teeth, so this is a little different. I hope you're not
I don't want to hear it, the doctor, yeah.
All right, so do you think we're going to have to dice this stuff, or is it going to be all right the way it is?
We'll chop the dill a little bit.
Okay.
You want to slice and dice?
Sure. Get my hands dirty here.
There's probably flavor and all that, no?
You think? Bailey, what do you think?
No, we can toss the stems.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dig into this horseradish while you're at that.
Okay.
Maybe this comes out tasting like wasabi. What do you think about that idea? 10, 12 grams. So Mike and I first started doing this, we would always forget to write down how much ingredients we use. And we'd make something that tasted amazing, then come out 3 weeks later tasting
Like,
good.
hey.
We're like, oh, how do we make that again? Yeah.
Oops.
So now we write everything
Sorry.
down. Actually, I should change that. We don't write everything down.
Bailey.
Bailey writes everything down. She keeps track of
Legible.
everything. Stick your nose in there.
Oh yeah, nice little bit of fire.
Oh yeah. That'll mix with the Caesar. Shouldn't this be more complicated than just doing this?
No, pretty straightforward.
Here's the magic wand that you wave to make it.
We do that when no one's looking.
Okay.
Okay, come on in.
Thank you. Holy, this is huge compared to the old place.
Yeah, so
Absolutely spotless. You got
like I said, we went from 4 buildings into 1 location here, so it's been a huge change for us. Yeah, so right at the front of the shop here, we have our machining division. So we have 2 CNC mills, a CNC lathe, and a manual lathe. And right now, these guys are probably the busiest guys in the shop. So here we have a couple CNC punches. Right now, we're punching some panels that will be formed up. And this machine here can actually do louvers and panels. So that's why we'll punch it instead of laser cutting.
You've got a good diverse workforce here like we do too. You know, people have this conception that Alberta only employs men, you know.
Yeah.
There's ladies, there's men, there's people of every color and race that are working in
Absolutely,
here.
yeah.
And I think a lot of places, it seems like Eastern Canada has that misconception. You know, this is a homogenized workforce that we have out here.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to work, they have a job.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Ho, our punch operator right there, she's been with us for, I think, over 10 years
10
now.
years, yeah.
And she's just a fantastic employee.
Very good.
We have 3 CNC brakes, with our biggest and newest one being 220 tons.
Holy.
So,
So these are used to bend metal? Is
yeah,
that-
so it's used to bend metal. Everything's programmed. So they make a program, they'll put the part in, it'll hit the stop, then the stops will move, and then they'll make their next bend.
So the person still has to physically put the piece in?
Yes, yes. The person still has to
You
run
always
the
have an
machine.
operator on the machine?
Yeah, they have to program it, set it up, they have to change the dies.
We were at a tasting event not that long ago, and there was a guy there doing metal bending by hand.
Oh yeah.
He's a performance artist.
Yeah.
And he would take a piece of flat bar and start bending it. It would take him about 20, 25 minutes, and he would turn it into a really contorted thing that was actually a wine rack.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty cool thing, actually.
Oh, there's so much cool stuff you can do with it.
I was watching him trying to, like, he didn't have any tools or no vise, nothing, just totally with his body. I was thinking, you can do that a lot easier. Yeah. No, you can. Yeah.
Why are you not out selling houses today? Why are you doing this?
Well, it's a little cold outside.
Oh, fair weather realtor?
Fair weather realtor, I guess.
I hope not.
So we had this day booked off. A couple things I was doing in the morning. I thought, okay, today's a good day before the spring market starts ramping up and start getting too busy.
All right, so that's 10, so we'll 30 overall.
So we'll go 30? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious to
This
see
will
what
be-
color it changes once you dump this
Yeah.
horseradish in there.
The fun part is getting this out after.
Oh, especially, this little bit of dill, that'll be a little tricky, won't it?
No spoon, but I got a knife. That work?
Sure.
Okay. Don't
Right.
kill yourself.
Okay, so what are we thinking we're gonna,
Dump
how
it
much?
in?
Full bottle, you think?
I think so.
Yeah?
I don't know. I've never
Well, I
done
know.
this before.
I guess
You know
this
what?
is why it's called a test
She's
batch.
the expert, so yeah.
Okay, well.
If it
let's
doesn't
hope
taste good, you still have to drink it.
Yeah, something's gonna have to stir it up.
This is kind of like putting a ship in a bottle. Well, rhymes.
It may not.
Rhymes with ship.
Did you grab the shortest knife so I couldn't reach the bottom of this jar?
It might not look pretty right now, but.
That's Mike's knife. That's the sharp knife. 250
You can always
milliliters.
add
That's a
more.
cup of
And it's
horseradish.
strong.
Yeah,
Full cup.
that looks fantastic.
And now, Jeff gets to continue his fantastic tour with the boys down at GC Custom Metal.
Well, I know those stands that you built for us, the powder coating job on them is amazing.
So they just washed them up right now and they're drying off.
Nice and warm. So what's the purpose of the heat that's in here? Is that just to dry it?
No, so powder coating is electrostatically applied coating.
Okay.
That goes on as a powder, and then you put it in the oven and cure it, and it turns into very rigid and durable coating.
Oh, so it's not actually a paint then?
No.
I didn't know that. There you go. These are nice and dried and cleaned. Next step is to spray the powder on.
Yeah. Next step is he'll apply the powder.
Okay. And then when that's done, back in the oven.
Back in the oven.
Cook it for how long?
Roughly 20 minutes, depending
that's
on
not too
material and
bad.
the thickness of it. If it's thicker, it's got to be longer.
Yeah.
Powder coating is very economical. It's really easy. There's less waste. There's no VOCs.
Okay.
So it's more environmentally friendly. It's known to be a very durable coating. So
Makes sense.
it's used all over the world for architectural coatings.
Yeah, makes sense.
And it's very, very common now.
All right, so these guys have got the stuff
Yeah.
ready to powder coat. How you doing? I'm Jeff.
Inti.
Nice to meet you. You betcha. So you're gonna do some powder coating for us today? You bet.
Yeah. They'll get the gun set up for some powder coating.
Perfect. Now are you doing flames on this or just plain black?
Solid black.
All right. Not too complicated.
Well, Inti's getting ready there. Here's some pieces we made earlier. So these are the shelves that have the PEM inserts there
You bet.
to thread the whole unit together.
He's got the fan going for ventilation. He's all set to start powder coating. So this stuff's all been cleaned.
It's all
Ready
clean,
to go.
ready to go.
Okay.
While the guys get ready to apply the powder coating and still keep Jeff from sticking his fingers in too many things, let's head back and check on that sea sludge and see how Chris's concoction is starting to take shape.
You had the snapping sound. I got the thermometer. Still don't think it's big enough. The cool thing about distilled spirits is if something doesn't go right, the flavor's off, or you had an experiment that went wrong, you can always take it and throw it back in the still and distill it again, and it purifies it.
Right, okay.
The only thing we can't really do that with is gin, because the juniper oil is really, really difficult to separate from the alcohol. But pretty much everything else, we can run it through. If we turn it into vodka, it'll get rid of all the flavor that's in there.
We won't be wasting 14 liters of vodka.
Okay.
Or I'll probably pick up some basil and throw some in there because I think it's
so.
going to need more than just 2 ingredients in there.
Yeah.
And then we'll put a couple secret things in there that we're not going to tell people about, so they can't duplicate it. You always got to have the
secret ingredient.
secret ingredients in there. So I've got some ideas for that.
So now we wait, give it about a week.
Yeah, what a week. Well, Bailey will test it after 3 or 4 days.
Well, the powder coating's about ready to be applied, and let's have a look, see how it's done.
This is the actual powdered pigment here.
Yes, so this is Midnight Black, it's called. It's basically just a gloss black.
I see it. Is that the feeder hose goes right into the powder?
Yeah, it goes right into the powder. It pushes some air into fluidize the powder.
And now he's putting electrical ground on the frame, I see.
So it's an electrostatic process. So the powder is actually charged by the gun, and the parts are grounded.
I never thought about, trying to build our brand by, building racks to put in liquor stores, or even racks for ourselves in our own little store to display stuff. It's all part of marketing, and it's something that a lot of guys when they're starting these businesses, they don't think about that part, And it's a lot of expense too at the same time. So, just because you can make the stuff doesn't mean you can sell it. You gotta let people know that your company exists and what your philosophy is about, and that you make a good quality product, and you gotta catch their attention because there's a lot of competition out there. This is one of the ways that we can stand out in a liquor store. When you go into a place that has over 6,000 bottles on the shelf, how do you stand out on the shelf? So we thought that this design of having our own shelf that reflected our bottle design would be a really, really good way to stand out on the shelf, and it's worked. Good, we're always wanting to experiment. If I can get you to do it instead of getting somebody in China to do it, that's what we want to do. We're all about supporting our local friends here. Yeah.
Powder coating was originally developed way back in the 1940s. By the 1960s, new techniques using electrostatic sprays evolved, and that's the way GC does it today.
The powder's all on there, all the surfaces are covered. Now we got to bake it.
Yeah, so we'll move it into the oven and we'll leave it in there for about 20 minutes at 400 degrees.
Powder coating is more affordable and environmentally friendly. It's become a real popular choice for finishing products.
Heading back into the powder shop and your parts here should be done.
Oh yeah, they're all out. They're done their 20 minutes. The boys moved them out.
Yeah, so.
Is this stuff still hot?
Nope, it should be cooled off by now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
So there you go.
These things just pull off.
Yeah.
Nice clean threads for putting her together. Excellent.
Yeah, so we'll get all the hardware together for you and we'll ship that over to you.
Good. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thanks a lot.
As usual, you've done an amazing job. So
yeah, thanks for coming by.
Hey, anytime we can push business your way, we're going to do that.
We appreciate it.
For sure. Cheers.
And I'll always support your business.
Thank you. I know you do.
That tote from last week was a lot tougher than the boys figured. This week, they're going to hit it a little harder.